person, no jail time, no probation, just fines, costs, and restitution. But you know your boy ain't doing that. You know your boy ain't taking that plea bargain. We going to trial. Yeah, we're going to jury trial, bro. I want 12 people that don't know me to fucking decide this. You know what I'm saying? I want 12 people that I don't even fucking know to check this shit out. I want them to check it out and, come up with a decision in the little rebuttal room they got. You know what I mean? I want them to talk about this shit. Like, man, I don't know, man. He's looking like it could be self-defense. You know what I mean? And there'll probably be that one guy in there, nah, let's fry this motherfucker, bro. Did you see his throat tattoo? Then there'll be someone in there like, yeah, but, what's right is right. And, technically if I was in his shoes, I would have been in fear for my life too. You know what I mean? Then they're going to come through and they're going to give me the acquittal. I'll get the little acquittal, I get found not guilty. So that's the plan right now. Of course, prosecutor can always drop it still. He might have been, typically what I believe is he tossed me a little bone, no jail time, no probation, hoping that I jump on it. It'd make his life easier for sure because he could get the guilty verdict and he wouldn't have to undo all the bullshit that's already kind of been done. But for me, I'm only taking a not guilty plea. I'm either going to be not guilty or I'm going to do the full 90 days. Or whatever the judge decides after I get found guilty by the jury. You know what I mean? So, it's looking really good for me. Pretty sure it's already done with. Like I said, they're just throwing me a couple dog bones just because I might hop on one and it might make it their day easier. But I'm not your normal person, so I'm not hopping on no plea bargain. We're going all the way to trial with it. I'm willing to risk 90 days of my life for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already ready to go. So, hoping they drop it soon. And we don't waste no one's time. Hopefully they drop it. But if not, if they do take me all the way to the door, I think I'm going to win. So, I'm not taking them to the door just to take them to the door. I'm taking them to the door because I know I got a winning case. I know I acted within reason. So that's why I'm going to take them to the door. But I think that they're not going to go to the door because they also know that I'm going to win that case. So I don't think they're going to waste everyone's time doing it. But I have to wait until it gets dropped. So for right now, I'm still on bond for it. So no big deal. I don't care. Oh, guys, and the judge denied my other baby mama's motion for me to get a crazy psycho evaluation and I need all this help and shit. Yeah, the judge shot that down yesterday. She signed an order saying denied. So we all know it was going to get denied because it was extreme, it was harassing, and now you got to answer to that. Now you got to answer to why you doing that extreme harassing bullshit. And hopefully my baby mama, because she's been withholding my son from me, saying, oh, I'm so dangerous and I don't feel safe with him even going over with you right now because you got a misdemeanor assault case, bro. So you need to go to the loony bin. You know what I mean? She's saying all kinds of shit. But I haven't seen my son in over 2 weeks now. But she's missed 2 of my court-ordered weekends that are supposed to be mine. My son probably wondering where the hell's my dad at, man? Why isn't he coming here no more? So that's bullshit. You know what I mean? That not only did my kid have to suffer through, but I had to suffer through too. So I'm hoping this weekend that now that she sees the judge signed that motherfucker saying denied. And not a question no more whether the judge is thinking about it. She denied that shit straight, flat out denied. So I'm hoping this weekend, Friday, is another one of my court-ordered weekends where I should be able to pick Paxton up. So we'll see how she plays it, man. Hopefully she comes to her senses and she's like, oh, the judge signed it and denied it, so I probably should give him his son this weekend. Or she might just continue on saying she still isn't going to let me have him. You know what I mean? I'm not putting nothing above it right now. I'm ready for anything to happen. So if she doesn't show up this weekend, I will file another contempt of court. And this contempt of court will stick because, I have a signed order now saying that her request was denied. So if she still continues to go against what the judge is saying, she's going to probably get in trouble for contempt of court. Right now, she's still got a little bit of leeway because, you know, she was waiting on the judge's signature, so she kind of didn't know for sure. But now that the judge has officially put the ink to the paper, there's no what ifs, maybes, or anythings anymore. Like it's official, bro. Like you got to bring the kid this weekend. But she might still not out of being petty or thinking that she knows better than the judge, I guess. I don't know. But we'll see. But I'm pretty sure I'm getting my son Paxton this weekend. I'm about 85% sure that I will be getting him this weekend. Like I said, unless she starts acting crazy. Because you got to think, man, if you're a parent and you're going against a judge's court order, that makes you look unstable, not me. You know what I'm saying? When you're just going against the order thinking you know better than the courts, that makes you look crazy, not me. You know what I mean? So hopefully she plays it smart and she gives me the kid this weekend. I miss my son terribly. So I miss all three of my kids. But I know I can get Paxton, so that's the one I'm concerned with right now. Rooster, you said she is just looking out for your kid's protection. Yeah, you know, you could say that if you wanted to, but that's like next weekend, or that's like if she gives him to me this weekend and I don't return him because I say, well, you know, I kind of think you might be dangerous because I'm thinking back to a time where you acted kind of crazy in front of me. So now I'm starting to think that my son might, you can't do that, bro. And when the judge steps in and says, hey, I don't think he's a danger, I'm not signing your request, that's when you know you're fucking up. You can pretend to say, you know, oh, I thought he was so dangerous and I was really just looking out for, you know, my son's safety. But the judge is telling you what to do right now. And if you're going to continue to go on your own mind, remember, this is a co-parent. This isn't an expert in law. This isn't someone who studied law. This isn't someone who's holding a judge's fucking position. The judge is the one that did all that. The judge is the expert, and the judge is the God in this story. So what they say goes no matter what. So when you go against it, that doesn't show that you're trying to protect your kid. That shows that you're being bitter at this point because the judge is the one who makes those shots. The judge is the one who calls those shots. And like I said, when the order wasn't signed and it was still in the air and you were kind of waiting to see if the judge would sign it, I understand that. You know what I mean? And I made it very clear I understood that. And if she doesn't get in trouble for the first couple weekends, I'm okay with that. I'm not a bidder. I'm not trying to get her, you know what I mean? Like I don't care, you know what I mean? Like, do I want to see her maybe get fined a little bit just so she doesn't do it again? Or a stiff warning? Like, hey man, you're not in trouble this time, but if you do this again against court order, you might get some jail time or something, you know what I mean? Just like a warning is fine. Just so I don't have to worry about dealing with that in the future. Remember, I had the Wolf Lodge booked up. I had a Magic Wand Paw Pass going on. I had a bunch of shit going on for packing up that weekend because I knew I wasn't gonna have all my kids. I was like, man, it's my one shot with my oldest son. Fuck it, we're going to Wolf Lodge, man. Fuck it. And then, you know, no call, no nothing, not even a hey, I'm not coming. And I just had to eat the loss. At the same time, I got to turn around and pay that same amount of money to child support. So it's like kind of like I'm getting the bad end of the stick here, just because, you know, people, like I said, these opinions that think I'm crazy, these aren't expert opinions. These are people that work at fucking Walmart and people that are bitter and shit. These ain't fucking people that have any kind of knowledge that could even request that someone's crazy. If you're not an expert, if you didn't go to college and you didn't study no fucking people and shit, you can't make a fucking educated decision on whether someone needs mental help or not. That's weird, right? Like you're the only person in this person's life that noticed it. No one else has ever noticed it. You're just working at Walmart and somehow you're magically smart and can analyze people and if they're fucking nuts or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta admit that's fucking weird, right? So, you know, and that was the case. It was a bully move by everybody. Everyone's trying to bully me right now because they see I'm kind of down right now. I'm not down, but they think I'm down. You know, they see me fall on my back and I'm trying to get up, and they ran right over with the sticks, poking me, keeping me down. You know what I mean? Like, damn, this motherfucker's finally down. Don't let him up. Don't. You should have seen it in this motion. I hope he's in jail. I hope he gets locked up for good. Fucking, like, bro, how do you have these kind of feelings towards me, bro? Like, you just secretly wishing that I get locked up and abandon my children? Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, you got to be bitter to be wishing that. When I'm a dad that just gets his kids on the weekends, I do amazing, great stuff with my kids, guys. Like, literally, I treat me and my kids' relationship, like, a lot of people are gonna think this sounds weird, but like a motherfucking trophy, bro. Like, when me and my kids, when I plan something out, I'm like, yeah, man, we gotta go here because this is gonna be a core memory for us, bro. Like, when you guys think back to dad, you're gonna be thinking about this time right here, bro. I'm about to hit a trophy on this one. Like, I look at it like I'm trying to make my kids the best children or the best childhood that they've ever had. So I take them out to do this crazy exclusive stuff that sometimes I can't even afford. Sometimes I can't even, I just spend my last on it, or I, pop a credit card out to do it. So, but I know at the end of the day, those memories are gonna live on past me. When I don't exist no more, those memories are gonna live on, long live big bag type shit. So, when I go, I don't want no, oh, dad, I remember dad, man, we was always hungry and we had to like fight over a pizza or something, I don't want no, or we had to mow lawns with dad. Remember when dad used to make us mow lawns all the time? Nah, man, they're gonna be talking about, remember when dad took us on that crazy Disney World trip? Everybody said it couldn't be done. Nobody believed he could do it. And then he did it, in fucking grand style. So, I do it for the kids, my sons. I know they love me. You know what I mean? So I'm going to show out for them. I'm going to do whatever I can for them. But don't get it twisted, guys. My baby mama wasn't keeping my kid from me for his safety. If you believe that, then you're a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, if my baby mama thought I was a danger to my kid, then why did she let me take him to Florida for 2 weeks by myself? If I'm such a crazy danger and I'm so scary and I'm a psycho, why did I get to take him for 2 weeks to Florida by myself? How does a misdemeanor assault all of a sudden turn me into a loony psycho bin? You know what I'm saying? Like a 90-day misdemeanor assault, it's a 90-day max. That means the crime, it's an assault. Oh my God. It's a 90-day fucking misdemeanor, bro. It's no different than drinking when you're not 21 yet. Okay? Or being drunk in public. These are all 90-day misdemeanors. So, yeah, is it a violent crime? Yeah. But it's not a loony bin crime. If you're gonna request anything from me, catching an assault case, just advice out there to everybody, loony bin, that seems a little personal. Like you're digging up the archives and trying to throw your own personal archives in there that no one ever seen before. So yeah, you might think I'm crazy, but you can't use assault as your reason. You could use anger management. Maybe he's got anger management problems. Yeah, he doesn't know how to control his anger sometimes. That's believable. I could believe that off an assault case. Yeah, I could believe something like that. But not, this dude needs a full-blown psychotic eval from a professional therapy person. We're talking hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Super extreme. They're going to practically cut his forehead open and dig into his brain. So, because he assaulted somebody. He simple assaulted somebody. So, we got to dig open in this motherfucker's brain. He might be a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is weird. And not to mention, guys, this assault case is the first crime that I've been charged with in 10 years, in over 10 years, in a long, long time. So You know, if I was a psycho loony bin weirdo, I'm pretty sure the law would have caught up with me by now. I'm pretty sure I would already been in and out of jail, or, you know, I wouldn't have been able to maintain my license and my insurance and, you know, my child support payments and my job. And, you know, if I was a real loony bin, I wouldn't be able to, you know, do all that, would I? Remember, I don't take no meds. I'm not on no medication. I'm not on no doctor fucking bottle of nothing. So, oh, I must be the 1%, man. The psychotic psycho who really is a psycho, but he just knows how to be normal and function and be successful and be a good father. But deep down, when he goes into his room at night and shuts the light off, he turns into a demon. Yeah, he's a real nut job at night. When no one's looking and no one can see, that's when he turns into a real psycho. We can't prove it. Yeah, we can't prove it because nobody sees it. We're just going off our own Walmart worker opinion, bro. Yeah, man, because one time he scared me. So now he's got to be a psycho, right? So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's what you can prove. And at the end of the day, you know, that was a vindictive move. It was a move to hurt me. But it was also a move that is hurting my son. You know, my son Paxton's out there right now wondering why isn't my dad showing up? I don't know what they're telling him, but he knows I always show up. I've never missed, and now I'm forced to miss. And you know, it's not like I can tell him why. When he comes back to me, I can't tell him, hey man, this is what's good. I gotta just eat it. And I gotta eat that inconsistent couple weeks. I gotta eat that like it's no one's fault. And sorry bro, I've just been busy or something. Like, I gotta eat that motherfucker. I can't tell him what's really going on. I gotta eat it. And that's not fair to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't do nothing to deserve that. And, you know, now he's gonna have that strike in his head. And my other kids, it's gonna be a minute before I see them. So, you know, those are things that I gotta deal. I gotta eat those losses. As a bad dad, they're gonna think I'm a bad dad, and I gotta take it. I can't just say, "Oh, it's your mom." I gotta take the loss, bro. I gotta just take it. That's just part of being a good father. But I shouldn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Not when I'm a good dad and I never miss. I shouldn't have to deal with that. But it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. So far, it's only been a couple weeks, which is a lot for me. But if I can get at least get Paxton this Friday, man, I don't think there will be that much damage done. I think I could still, you know, make things pretty smooth. So, digging the red light makes you look ominous. Thank you, Nick C. Yeah, Nick C, I like the red light a little bit because it looks good, but also because it's not like shining into my eyes like a flashlight. When I put the bright light on, it's not bad. I can do it, but it's super bright. So I figure I'd go red for this one. So guys, if you're just getting in here, I know there's only 9 people in here, probably because it got the red light on. I don't know if you guys can hear the fan in the background. You should have thought of all this when you were self-defending yourself. Rooster, so you think that I shouldn't have defended myself? Is that what you're saying? So you think in the moment I was in, you think I should have just got, you know, stabbed in my throat? So I could lay on the floor and bleed out with, you know, my kids watching? And leave one of my kids just sitting in the car wondering, where's my dad at, man? Why? He just got out to take the kids and now he's never coming back. Where is he? Well, he's stabbed on the floor, dead? So, you know, I use self-defense to protect myself from great bodily harm. I didn't use self-defense because, you know, I was scared I was going to get punched. I was about to get fucking killed, bro. So, and I self-defended myself against a guy twice my size. 2 times the size of me, twice my weight, and at least 6 to 10 inches taller than me. So, I did what any fucking person would do in that situation. That's able to do that. I punched him one time in the face. He backed up a couple steps, and I immediately escaped to my car where my kid was, and I got us both to safety. And then I put him in the side room at home, playing with his Legos, so I could go in the other room to make the call. I wasn't going to make the call in front of him because he never seen anything, and I don't want him to hear what happened. So I was protecting my son at the same time. That's why I didn't call right away. And that's why I didn't stick around at the scene to call like I wanted to, because I started to get assaulted. And I had to leave at that point. The plan had to change really quick. But the original plan was I was getting video of the no car seats, and then I was going to call the police right then and there and have them come, so that way my kids didn't leave in that car with no car seats. And that's when I started getting assaulted. And then that's when I looked down and seen that the dude had what I thought was a knife in his hand, and I punched him. So that was self-defense, guys. You guys they can paint it. They want to paint it out to be like I'm crazy. Like if you hear the story that was told, I show up, they don't have one of my kids' winter coats that I asked for. My kid's already in winter coats because I'm bringing them to them. This is an extra winter coat of mine that is one of the boys. He's outgrown it, and I've been asking for it back so I could put it in the closet for my baby son. That way he has a brand new Nike puffer coat for next year. Because I keep things. Like I store them, and like they're fresh for the kids the next year. They will lose them. You know, they'll just be disappeared or ruined. So I always store the nice stuff, and I bought it anyway. So I store it for the kids, and they get to use the coats too. I don't keep the coats. That's why they have them, because I let them use the Nike coats over there. I'm not greedy or stingy, man. If my baby mama don't have the shit, I make sure that she's got it. I'm not going to let my kid walk around with, you know, fucking Goodwill raggedy ass clothes, or, you know what I mean? So even though like I don't, you know, necessarily want to get my nice clothes over there, I always do, man, because I know my kids are going to school, and I know they're, you know, so I make sure they're loaded up with everything they want, you know what I mean? So anyway, they're saying I'm mad about this coat, so mad that I just started beating up a guy over it. You know what I'm saying? It sounded like a pretty good story until I showed the video evidence that's not the story, bro. The story is I pulled up, I asked about the winter coat. When I pulled up, they were sitting there chiefing on fucking weed pens and shit. And I said, hey, did you bring the black coat? We haven't been home yet. And I'm like, well, don't expect me to pick the kids up next weekend if you don't have my coat. Oh, you think we're fucking scared of you? You're a bitch. Nobody's fucking scared of you. She's heckling me, man, while I'm getting my son out of the car. My first son, my oldest one, or my middle son, oldest one for her family. And, you know, I'm getting a little bit irritated, but, you know, I'm just irritated, you know what I mean? So I say, or I hand her my first kid. She takes my first kid, and as she's saying this, I reach back in for my youngest son. And I say, all right, let's make sure that there's car seats in this truck. Because there was a previous time where they were not rocking car seats, and they just wouldn't not do anything about it. So I look up with my kid in my hand, and I see no car seat. I said, oh, you're not taking him. And I go turn around with my baby in my hand. She starts ripping him from me. I hold on one time as she rips, and she like pushes me, and I let go. Because she's already assaulting me and shit with my kid in my hand. I let go. I don't want these kind of issues. What, me and her start getting into a domestic? No, thank you. I let right go. I go right into my car in the center console, grab my phone, click the video on, and then you can see everything from there on out. I get videotape. Look, they got no car seats in this car. She shoves me. Another assault with my kid in her hand on videotape. And as she's doing this, her boyfriend's on the other side saying, what's going on? He's trying to get video of no car seats. So he's shaking, running over, aggressive, like he wants to just knock my head off type shit. And I said, what are you going to do? Do something. And I'm filming. Do something, dude. Oh, you do something, bitch. Get out of my car, motherfucker. Da, 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 da. Yeah, the whole time he's shoving me with his big old fucking pot belly. You know what I'm saying? And he's standing way above me. shoving me backwards with his belly and shit. And I'm backing up, trying to make my escape to the car. And that's when he pushes me one more time with his belly, and I look down and see what I think is a knife in his hand. So I fucking punched him, you know what I'm saying? He backed up a couple steps, and I ran for the car and got out of there. And so when the police were called, the police only got to hear their stories and then the mark on his face. And their story wasn't, we didn't have car seats and he was trying to prevent us from not leaving with his kids without no car seats in the wintertime and shit. And he was trying to call the cops on us. So we attacked him. They didn't tell that story. The only story that was told was he pulled up, he was flipping out over a black coat, and he punched my boyfriend in the face. That's the story that was told. That's the story that's in the police report. So when I told my story, they didn't believe me. And I left out the self-defense part where I hit him. I stopped my story at the hit him part, and I said, and I didn't hit him. No, I don't want to go no further than that. Because I already knew I was going to jail, and I wanted to save my end of my story from my lawyer, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's why I got arrested, because they were going off these two guys' stories, and I wasn't at the scene no more. So they said I fled the scene. They said I punched him and then fled the scene like a criminal, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't having to escape. Like I hit him one time to neutralize the threat, and then I was leaving. I mean, the dude had a fucking weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, turns out it wasn't a weapon. I mean, after slowly analyzing the video, it turns out to be a fucking pen. One of them smoking pens, a black smoking pen. But it looks like a fucking knife handle. Like he's got a knife in his hand with the blade. And, you know, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Who walks up to someone in an aggressive manner like they're about to fight them with a fucking black object in their hand? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what he planned on doing with it. Maybe he planned on punching me with it as a fist puncher. I thought it was a knife. So at the end of the day, I hit him to prevent from being stabbed. I wasn't the aggressor. All I was doing was getting video of my kids with no car seats so I could call the police. That's a lawful thing to do, protected by not only the First Amendment, but also that's what a father's supposed to do is stop his kids from going in a dangerous situation. And when I was doing that, they were mad about it because I got video evidence. You can't lie about video evidence, guys. So they like criminals that got caught, you know what I'm saying? And they blew up the scene to make it like that. And if I would have never got that video evidence, I would be cooked right now. So that just goes to show you how easy people try to set you up, try to put you in a bad spot, put you in a bad position, or try to cook you, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if I wasn't filming that incident, I would have been cooked. No one would have believed my car seat story. No one would have believed that I got assaulted by my BM twice, one on videotape. You know, their stories seemed like they were the truth. But now after the video has been shown, you can tell their story is a complete lie. I personally hope that they get charges. I hope that they drop all my charges, and I hope they turn around and, you know, get the people that actually assaulted me, because I'm the victim. I might have got arrested for an assault, but I'm the victim. I was assaulted on video 3 times, 4 times total, but 3 times on video. And I protected myself from someone who I believed to have a knife in their hand. And I believe anyone else would have felt the same way in the heat of the moment. They look down and seen he's in your face getting ready to hit you, and he's got a black fucking handle clutched in his hand. You know, that could have been anything. I've never ran up on someone when I'm mad at them and thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna clutch this in my fist when I walk up on them. I never thought about doing no crazy shit like that unless I was thinking about hurting somebody. So, you know, I had every right to do what I did. So, you know, people want to blow it up and be like, oh man, you're a crazy person and you could have handled it differently. Maybe I could have handled it differently. I'm not an expert, bro, at life-saving measures, bro. When I'm in a moment and I'm scared for my life, you can't expect me to just come up with the best solution, bro. I'm in Michigan. This is stand your ground state. If you're not using deadly force, and I didn't use deadly force. So I'm in a public area where I have the right to be. I don't have to retreat. If you pull up in my face and you put me in great bodily harm, or I'm in fear for my life, I don't have to run away first. This is stand your ground state, so I can punch you as long as I don't, keep punching you, or I'm just overly beating on you, or you're a girl half my size and I'm in fear for my life, so I punched you. That wouldn't be okay. The only reason my punch was okay was because it's proportionate to the situation. Dude's twice my size, twice my weight, and he has an object that I believe is a knife in his hand. So a punch is the only thing that will get this guy to back up enough for me to get to my car. A push, I would have got stabbed. Trying to turn my back on a guy with an object in his hand. Imagine I walk away like this and he gets me in the back of the head, bro. You can't do that. Like, this is a life or death situation at this point, and I punched him. It sucks to be him, but that's gonna happen when you roll up on someone and put them in fear for their life like that. And I'm a felon, so I'm not carrying, but a motherfucker that's carrying might hit you with something other than a fist. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't do that. Self-defense, you can't do it, man. You can't put someone in fear for their life. Nixie, thank you, Nixie. You said, imagine it's like getting punched by a 7-year-old girl. I don't know what I don't claim to hit hard. I don't claim to be a good puncher. I don't punch people. I did that literally to save my life. So, and to protect my children. Remember, guys, it all started because I was trying to protect my children from getting in a car with no car seats. My kids are 3 and 5. They're going to get in a truck in the Michigan wintertime with black ice all over the roads and just ride around with 2 people that were just chiefing on a fucking pen. Like, I'm trying to protect my babies, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I was getting the video and I was going to call the cops, because I didn't feel right letting my kids leave in that situation. And this is a situation, this wasn't a one-time ordeal. This is a situation that I already had to call CPS on my baby mama for a year and a half ago, because she just refuses to use car seats. And I bitch, I'm going to call CPS, dude. Just put the car seats in. I don't want to call CPS. Just put no, fuck you, motherfucker. I do what I want. I run my own life, bitch. Fucking weird, bro. And I was like, all right, whatever. After about 2 weeks of begging, I called CPS. And I wrote a report with my full name and everything. And she told me pretty much, oh, you're going to get in trouble if you call them ever again. They know that you're doing revenge reports on me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I never messed with it again. I never really bothered her about it again. But here we are, almost 2 years later, and she's still doing it. This means she's been probably doing it the entire time. I just haven't got out and looked, because it's a big truck and they got the window taped up. They probably got the window taped up just so I can't see in there. But I don't know. Either way, guys, it's looking like it's going to get dropped at my next court date. My baby mama's motion for me to be a psycho evaluation was denied, signed and denied. So she was wrong for what she did. She was in the wrong for withholding my son from me. I will be filing 2 contempt of court charges on her. And if she doesn't give me the kid this weekend, we will be filing a 3rd contempt. We will file contempts until he comes over. I'll file a contempt on every single thing I can think of. Any little thing I can Google or think of that I can file a contempt on, I will if I have to. You know what I'm saying? So, said, you're still unemployed and asking for TikTok money. I'm not unemployed. I'm a TikToker, bro. Get it straight. And I'm a good TikToker, man. I'm multi-TikToked. I can do shop, live, or content. I can do all 3 of them. I do all 3 of them. You said that's genuinely sad. What's so sad about it? You probably work in a fucking slave factory, bro. You're probably in a slave factory right now. Thank you, Nixie. Jenny, you said the haircut's looking good. I appreciate you. Yeah, this is the new haircut, guys. I'm going with, well, I haven't got a real haircut yet, but I cut it myself. But this is the haircut I'll be going with now. I like it because like the sides right here, I got them kind of thick right now. So it doesn't look like I got like the pushback going on. So I'm like, this is definitely the style that I need to continue to do. So yeah, this is going to be what you guys will probably see me in. But with like, I'm going to get like a fade on the sides though. I'm going to do some kind of fade, taper fade or something when I get to the haircut. This guy said, be sure to tell the judge you're a TikToker. Listen, dude, this isn't, you know, a couple years ago, man. I mean, a couple years ago, I told the judge I was a TikToker. They all know I'm a TikToker, man. It's not no secret field. It's not no behind the scenes fucking secret shit I'm doing, bro. Like everybody knows I do TikTok. The bond knows I do TikTok. The COs down at the jail know I do TikTok. The judge knows I do TikTok. I told the magistrate I do TikTok. I told my lawyer, my criminal defense lawyer, that I'd be doing TikTok. I just asked her the other day, can I talk about my crime on TikTok? To all my people on TikTok when I'm running a live, can I tell them about what happened with my assault, or is that a violation of bond? She said, yeah, you can talk about it all you want. She's like, you just can't send nobody to talk to nobody, but you can talk about it. You can bring it up. Cupcakes, you said, where's your kid? Can't no one really dog me out about the kids, man, because at the end of the day, even if I never seen my kids again, like let's just say today I just decided, I'm going to never talk to my kids again for the rest of their entire existence. My kids are still going to think I'm cooler than your kids think you are, bro. Because at the end of the day, when your kids think of Cupcake Cowboy, they're thinking, man, my dad's always mean, pissed off, trying to teach me lessons. He's trying to build character in me and shit. Basically, it comes from being miserable at work, and then you kind of bring it home and, you get bossed around by your supervisor all day. You got to follow rules all day. So when you get home to your home, you get to be the supervisor now, and the kids are like, yeah, see, that's what they get with you. With me, I took my kids to Disney World, bro. I could die right now and never come back. And my kids are still going to think I'm the coolest ever for the rest of their life. So remember, I've been doing stuff since they were born, just in case I have to make the great departure, you know what I mean? Just in case I'm not around, I'm going to make sure my boys, they got a memory full of me, full of love, all that stuff, man. He said, Disneyland, Dad, ain't it? I went to Disney World, bro. That's a big difference between Disney World and Disneyland. I went to Disney World, bro. Disneyland's all right. There's nothing wrong with it, but it ain't Disney World. Disney World's the top dog. Disney World is the #1 location in the world that kids want to go to. If you're a little Chinese kid over in China, you probably got dreams of going over to Disney World. You only got Tokyo, Japan, Disney World. It's cool, but you dream of going to Orlando Disney World. You dream of going to that one. So it's the top dog of them. If you can read a paragraph above an 8th grade reading level, I'll cash up you. Bro, reading is not impressive, dude. Like, I can read really well, but it's not that impressive. Like, comprehension would be more impressive than reading. Jenny, I know they don't got jobs either. They in here with me right now. That's crazy. Or they're at their job watching me. I don't know. The comment section is not it. Yeah, they're going to hate on me a little bit in here. They usually do. When there's a lot of people in here, like when we get over 40, you got to expect it to be a room full of haters. They don't like me because, I don't work. I'm a great dad. and I don't live by I live by like my own rules, you know what I'm saying? Like my own mindset rules, so they love to hate me. Reading isn't impressive, said by the smartest people, of course. Zero survival instincts. What about me says zero survival instincts, bro? You wouldn't last a fucking hour in some of the situations I've been in. You wouldn't even last an hour, bro. Could you imagine if me and you was together in the woods, just me and you out there, and it was a survival moment? Who you think will really survive out there out of me and you? If we was at the campfire right now, way deep in the woods, you know, and, you know, we got to survive somehow, man. Somehow we got to make it out of here. We got no food left. And you know, this big fat pig over there, man. You know, I just can't keep my eyes off you, man. You looking really good. I think I would be a survivor, man. Matter of fact, I've survived in, you know, obviously that situation was blown up to be real dramatic, so you could get the point, you know, the comprehension thing. But I've been in situations that I've seen people break, cry like, you know, little babies again. You know, I've been in situations that made me cry like a little baby. So, you know, to call me not a survivor is weird, right? Because I'm practically walking around with bare fucking coat, bro. You see the coat? You see the coat? If I took the shirt off right now, you see the coat? You see the coat, bro. I wear that coat anywhere. When they locked me up and threw me in the jail, and they stripped me of all my belongings, my freedom, practically stripped me of my name, they didn't take the coat. You know what I'm saying? They didn't make me take the coat off. I said, well, can I wear the coat in the back? Yeah. I mean, what can we do? So I could wear this anywhere. Yeah, I mean, we can't take it off you, so, oh, okay, cool. So, you know, you don't get this kind of coat unless you're like a real dog. You know what I'm saying? You don't just get a coat like this unless you're a real dog. So when they see me and they say, oh, look at the little pretty boy face, man, this dude's a nerd, bro. They see the coat and they know, oh yeah, he must be dangerous. Oh man, don't let him fool you. He might be a wolf in sheep's clothing, bro. Look at the coat. The coat doesn't lie, man. He didn't just fall into that motherfucker. There's no way he just walked into a random shop one day and got that painted on him. So, you know, am I a survivor? You know I'm a survivor, bro. I don't gotta just say I'm a survivor. I've been in situations and survived them. And that speaks louder than anything, you know what I mean? You don't really know me. You just kind of know what I look like, which I know I'm like kind of goofy looking, right? Like a little goofball. So, I mean, I get where you perceive that. But yeah, man, I'm pretty wild, bro. I'm a dad now. But there was a time I was a real dog. You would hate to be in a survival mission with me, bro. You would hate my guts. I know you would. Did you have a jail girlfriend? So, so basically, when you go to jail, everyone in there is kind of, you know, a little gay. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna tell you they're gay, but they're gonna be, you know, showing some signs. You know what I'm saying? But it's not technically gay. It's just kind of like fun. Does that make sense? So okay, let me explain it in a better way. So when you get a girlfriend and you guys move in together, and you know you're eating together every day, you know you're talking to each other at night when you lay in bed. That's kind of like in jail, right? When you move in with a guy and you're like, oh, what's up? Your name's John? Okay, what's going on? My name's Bags. Oh, cool, man. This is the house. You know, because we're about to be living in a 5x7 together. We're going to be real close. So I'm gonna see him in his underwear. He gonna be walking around in the thing with his underwear on and shit, talking about, oh man, you should have seen this one. He gonna be telling me stories and shit. Of course, it's not really gay, but I mean, if this was going on the outside, people would be saying it kind of gay. Like if me and my homeboy was in a room in our house together, in our underwear. You know what I mean? Like, but in jail, it's survival, right? It's normal, like, to do that. So everybody kind of on that timing, but nobody's like going to Pound Town. You know what I'm saying? Like, there might be some people going to Pound Town. You know what I mean? What happens behind closed doors? I mean, I don't know, but most people know that they're gonna be homophobic in jail. Like when you're in jail, people are gonna be homophobic. Like, oh, you're gay. Oh, I'm not gay. That's gay. But they'll be doing that shit though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, can I borrow your conditioner? Yeah, buddy. Dude, I just made a honey bun cake. Do you want a bite? Like they still be doing some pretty suspect shit. You know what I mean? Me included. But I'm just saying, like, people are pretty homophobic in there though, and I think it's just because they don't want to be labeled as gay. So they say, oh yeah, that's gay. Can I borrow your flower conditioner, please? I love the way it smells, dude. I can't get that smell anywhere else. Yeah, sure, here you go, man. Do you want my loofah too? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they'll turn around and be like, oh, I don't like pink. You know what I mean? Pink's a girl's color, man. Hey, can I borrow that purple deodorant that you got off the store? The one that smells like flowers? From the girls' side. Because I like the way that... Oh, it's girls? Oh, fuck it, man. I'll use it anyway. It smells good. So... Guys, it's not like really like that. I mean, it is like that in there, but people are just having fun in there. You know what I mean? I know it sounds crazy for sure. No, I got no interest in that kind of stuff. So you guys are pretty much saying I had a girlfriend in jail. I never had a girlfriend in jail, guys. But I am funny in jail, guys. I'm not like a super scary guy in there. I'm more of like a popular guy. You know what I mean? Like everybody likes me. You know, I'm not that guy that you're like, shit, dude, there's bags, man. Hopefully he doesn't take our shit. You know what I mean? I'm not, you could tell that I'm not really like that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like super nice. Like, hey man, I got an extra honey bun. Are you hungry? You look hungry. You know what I mean? Like I'm really nice, for the most part. So that's why people like me. I'm a sweetheart. Said, I bet, bro, funny and charming. Yes, exactly. Funny and charming. And I got millions of stories, man. You got to think, I come from a wild life, man. So, I got the coolest stories. And, most people, at least in my hometown, they're going to know me. You know what I mean? When I come to my hometown jail, I'm a celebrity. Nixie with the fucking cowboy hat. Appreciate you, Nixie. Yeah, I'm a celebrity in my home jail. I ain't been there in a minute, but they know I'm a celebrity in that motherfucker. When they see me come in, no way, Bags, it can't be true. He was on a legendary run. There's no way. There's no way they got him for something. When they see me in there, they know it's about to turn up. But I'm not going to jail, guys. I'm Mr. Beat the Case right now, man. I already know that I got this case beat. Unless I get the old-fashioned railroad. You know what I mean? Unless they slop it up, man, and ram it right up in my shit, then I know I'm gonna beat it. But there's always that chance that someone take it by force. That's called the railroad. Where you're not guilty, but they still gonna make sure that you end up guilty. That's called the railroad. Boy Navajo with that little crown. Appreciate you, Boy Navajo. Y'all ram it right in there, man. They don't even ask when they do that type of shit. You be sitting there thinking you about to get off, and then they slam your ass over the table and start taking turns. So, that's always a possibility. But at the end of the day, I got my eye on my lawyer. My lawyer seems like she's doing whatever it takes. If at any point in time I feel like, she's not, working for me or doing what I need her to do, then I can always request new counsel or new trial. Because my case should be a slam dunk. I'm surprised it hasn't been thrown out yet. They offered me that plea bargain yesterday for disorderly, no jail time, no probation. So that lets you know right there that the case is really weak, and it should have been dropped already, I believe, in my head. But it didn't get dropped yet, so it's going to be the waiting game. Remember, it's up to the prosecutor's discretion. So if he wants to play with me all the way till jury trial day and then drop the charges, he can do that. And there's nothing I can do about it. I gotta just go through the process. So we were hoping he would have just dropped it yesterday when he seen the evidence, and he sees that it was self-defense. We was hoping he would just drop it all together. But in order for them to drop it, it's not as simple as you would think it is, guys, because I bonded out for $500, so that $500 would have to come back to me. They wouldn't get to keep it. The charge would have to go as a dismissed charge, which is sort of like a loss, a strike as a loss on the prosecutor's whatever you call it, like how many cases he's lost in one, he'd have to take a loss. So that's something that the courts don't necessarily want to do just right off the gate, I'm thinking. So they're gonna hold out a little bit on me. But once they do dismiss it, I should get my bond money back. All the PPOs should drop off, or the PPOs won't drop off. I'll have to go manually get them undone. But if I get my case dismissed, I'll be able to do that very quickly. So, anyways, what I'm getting at is if the courts decided to dismiss this case today, it would actually be, a little bit tougher for them as opposed to if I accepted a guilty plea. Now, if I accepted the disorderly, no jail time, no probation, then they can fine me, cost, lawyer fees, restitution, they said, which I'm sure must be for like hospital bill or something. So that's all going to round up to about $1,500 to about $2,000 in fines. So they'll eat that bond money right up with that. And then I'll have to go down there monthly and be on a monthly payment system plan or something, or pay a lump sum. So that's not something I'm wanting to do. Plus, it also means I have to do an admission of guilt, which means in family court I have to step up and say I actually was guilty and I admitted to it, which I cannot do that. So I have to have a dismissal or an acquittal. Dismissal means the prosecutor decides to dismiss the case before trial due to lack of evidence, which I did show him a video proof that it was self-defense. So I believe that is a very strong option that could happen. Or I'll go to jury trial and we'll go in front of the jury and we'll show the jury all the evidence and the jury will decide if I'm guilty or not. I could not see 12 people thinking I'm guilty. I 100% almost know that is not going to happen ever. Unless, like I said, I get railroaded somehow. But I 100% know that I can win this case in jury trial. So if they do decide to hire 12 jurors and do them extra court dates and do all that, that's on them. But I know I'm going to win it. So the smartest thing right now to happen would be dismissal. But of course, like I said, the prosecutor is going to want to see if I'll take a bone first. If I plead guilty to disorderly and just take the fines and stuff, they get to close the case right away. They get that guilty plea, so it's a win case. They won. They got someone to admit they're guilty. Plus, that'll go on my record for the next 7 to 10 years as a criminal record. Right now, I haven't been in trouble in over 10 years. So, getting this on my criminal record is a kind of a big deal for me. You know what I mean? I've already been criminally rehabilitated from the records. You know what I'm saying? So to give me this little criminal slap on the wrist, it's going to look bad. It's going to make me look like I'm involving myself in criminal activity again, or wow, he hasn't really changed because he just got a disorderly fucking, not even, you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't take that lightly. Now, if I was already in, you know, a life of crime, or I was in and out of jail, or I was out doing other crimes that were crazy, then yeah, I would probably jump right on the disorderly real quick just to get off bond and get it over with and pay the fine off. And, you know, I already got felonies, so I'm not that worried about it. But since I've been out of trouble for, you know, 10 years, I mean, it's kind of like I got a clean record. You know what I'm saying? Even though I might have felonies, I haven't committed no crime in a long time. So, you know, that's a big deal for most people, especially like a circuit court judge. When she sees, you know, oh, I sent him to prison, you know, 10 years ago. He hasn't even got a seatbelt ticket since then. That's a proud moment for a judge. You know what I mean? That means the corrections actually worked for him. So that doesn't happen often. Not very many people, those corrections actually correct them. Usually Your Honor will see that same person that, you know, she sent to prison back for another prison type sentence. So for me to come back 10 years later, I never even got a seatbelt ticket. I'm behind like $1,000 on child support. That's not a lot, guys. I pay $500 a month, so I'm 2 months behind. So, and I just had all this happen where I had to bond out and get a suit, and, you know, I had all this shit going on that I got to do. So, you know, technically I'm not like someone that just falls behind to do it. You know what I mean? I got plans to pay that up, get caught up here real soon. I just focusing right now kind of on my criminal case. It was either take my child support money and bond out of jail, or sit in jail and still not pay my child support because I can't get to the money anyway. So, I mean, I had to use my child support money this month to bond out of jail. But when I beat the case, I should get that money back straight to child support. You know what I'm saying? So that's my plan right now. Okay, Jess says 1K isn't much at all. Good for you. My daughter's father is behind 29K. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. Like, most people just don't pay. Or they create themselves into a bummy situation where the courts will only make them pay $50 a month. If you don't have a license or a car, you can get $50 a month. Like, if I got rid of my car and my license, $50 a month. $50 a month, bro, for all of them. But I have a license and a car, and, you know, they impute my income. So it doesn't matter if I choose not to work and I just say, oh, I just can't get a job nowhere, and that's just too hard because I got, you know, felonies and shit, and no one will hire me. Then they can say, well, you got a license, right? You got a car, and you're able-bodied, and, you know, where have you worked? Sometimes they'll go off what you've done before for jobs. They impute your income. You know, whatever, 15, 16, whatever they want, they impute that shit. You don't just get out of it. Unless you don't have a car, no license, then they're going to say, oh, do you have a car? Oh, you don't? Do you have a license? No? Do you have any way to get to work? No. Okay. Well, I'm going to put you at 50 for now. Until you know, get your license, get a car. Then we can come back and look at this later on. And then you'll do 50 a month. You could go get a job under the table, be a roofer, whatever you want to do. Drive without a license under the table. This is what most dads do. And then your baby mom, she'll get 50 a month. 50 a month, bro. But they put me at $550 a month. I pay $550. It was like $600 and something. But they finally forgave my childbirth expenses. Michigan forgave them at the beginning of the year this year, which was a huge surprise. I owed $15,000 in hospital bills for all my kids. And they made me pay $25 for each case. That's $75 extra a month that I had to pay every month just for hospital bills. just because my kids were born in the hospital or whatever. So they forgave that at the beginning of this year, which was super huge for me. So, but yeah, still $550 a month, which is still a lot of money, guys. I mean, of course I get it. Like kids cost more, but $550 a month is still hard. You got to think $550 a month plus $550 for the car. That's 1,100 right there plus phone bills. And then I gotta buy food to eat, so you're talking almost $2,000 a month just for bills, and I don't even pay no rent. So it can stack up pretty fast. What if the license is taken away for non-payment of child support? Yeah, they'll take your license away because think about it. If you're like, let's say you go a whole year and you're just not paying, you're just refusing to pay. Why would they want you to have a license? You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to pay anyway, then they'll just take your license and put you down to 50 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like they could do that. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason that you need a license in a car if you're not going to go to work. Like that's pretty much saying, well, I got a license in a car just to drive around with my friends and have fun. I'm not going to get a job. I just want to be able to drive around and have fun. I can't pay child support, but somehow I have money for gas, and to drive around, and I have money to exist. But it just doesn't add up, right? So they're gonna snatch your shit from you and put you on the loser list, is what I call it. When you pay $50 a month for child support, you're a loser, bro. And I'm not saying that because I think I'm better than them. I'm just saying like the courts have decided that you're a loser when they put you on a $50 a month child support. You don't got no license. You got not good enough job history. You're probably a criminal who's either just been released this year or you're in and out of jail all the time. You're homeless. You don't get put on the $50 a month because you work at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? If you work at McDonald's, you're going to pay more than $50 a month. So Missy, you said so the mom is just stuck paying for the kids. What do you mean? Why is the mom stuck paying for the kids? You know that the moms typically get food stamps, WIC, free rent. They get fucking $10,000 tax checks every year. And they're getting child support monthly from a dude. Why they can make a new family with another guy that's gonna pay him stuff? Women got it way too easy. I think if you're a woman out there and you decide not to be with the dad, you shouldn't get nothing. You should get completely nothing. And when you say, well, this is bullshit, I don't have enough money, yeah, that's the point. You're not supposed to have money. You're supposed to be broke, miserable, struggling. The kids are supposed to be wondering why there's no food in the fucking fridge. Why does this life suck? That should all be happening. Why should you get rewarded because you don't want to be with the dad no more? Oh, I've made kids with this guy. I'm irresponsible. Now I'm going to get rid of him. And now I want, people that don't have kids to, pay for my mistakes. If you made a kid, it sucks to suck, bro. Like you either going to be with the guy you made it with or you should be miserable. You should be fucking broke as fuck, bro. Like super broke. And the guy too. The guy should be broke too. I'm not saying the guy just gets to win. The guy should be fucking broken miserable too. If you guys decide you want to make kids together, but you want to go play off in the government, you guys should both be in prison. Yeah, when a guy and a girl can't work it out, they should give the kid up to foster care and go do a prison sentence. That's my opinion on it. Why break up a home because mom don't get along with dad? Or, oh man, he tried to give me a rule and I'm an independent woman. Nah, y'all should both go to prison. That's my opinion. Oh, he beats your ass every night? Well, then you both need to go to prison, bro. Why are you with someone beating your ass every night? Well, he never did it before. It just happened out of nowhere one night. He just ended up being a woman beater. Okay, well, you got to go to prison too, bro. You both got to go. If you guys can't be adults and just make shit happen, and you decided you want to bring life into the world, then you both should go do some jail time. Maybe not prison time, but you should both go do 30 days in the county. That's just my opinion. Right now, there's probably 1 million broken families out there right now. This is not in the children's best interest. This is in the mom's best interest. That's why you see all the moms out here winning and the dads are out here miserable. Why? How become all the dads are poor, broke, never get to see their kids, and just have to keep feeding into mom's extravagant lifestyle with her new family? That shit's weird. So, no, I think the moms are in for a big surprise soon, man. I think the president is gonna do some real house cleaning on that child support shit, bro. It's coming. It's not first on the priority list, but I know that motherfucker's on the agenda. I can feel it in my bones, bro. I know it's coming, bro. Like, I can just feel it. One day we're gonna wake up and it's gonna be viral. Trump shut down child support. It's over with. No more child support. If you want some kind of child support assistance, you're going to have to go to work, motherfucker. They're going to make some kind of government daycare or something now that the Somalis were doing it wrong. They're going to make an American government daycare where, the moms can just bring their kids to daycare. They don't need no more child support. Go to work, you get free daycare. You already get free daycare, motherfucker. I love a mom that's like, oh my God, he only pays $300 in child support. Doesn't he understand that I pay $400 alone just for daycare in a week? Where do you work at? McDonald's. So how does that even make sense? You work at McDonald's, but you pay $400 a week for child support. Yeah. No, the government pays for your daycare, bro. That's why you're using the daycare. There's no way a broke bitch that works at McDonald's would be like, oh yeah, I'm going to pay $400 daycare fee. Same bitch has a fucking food stamp card in her fucking purse. We know that she wouldn't be buying those groceries without the stamp card either. We know she wouldn't. She'd probably be at McDonald's every day or eating fucking shit from the gas station with her money. No budget. She wouldn't be buying steaks and all this shit at the thing if she didn't have those food stamps. So, yeah, I think moms need to wake up and realize that, they've been victimizing the dads for way too long. And, now we got a guy up in the White House that, I think he's going to look out for the dads, man. I just think he's gonna. I got a good feeling about it. It's coming. It's coming real soon. Who works at McDonald's? They don't hire anyone. Who works at McDonald's? Literally the brokest people work at McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's literally has the lowest pay cut of them all. And you don't get enough, you don't really get overtime there. So you probably don't even get medical benefits. McDonald's is like a high school job, man. Like when you're still in high school, but you kind of want to get a taste of what it's like working a real job, you go to McDonald's. And then, of course, there's going to be those people working at McDonald's that are just... It's not that they're dumb, but they're not going to jump out of the box. I mean, they've been working at McDonald's for a couple of years, and they're just going to stick with that because that's their habit. That's what they're used to. They're too afraid to change. Go filling out a job at a factory that pays really good, and having to go through a brand new orientation and dress up in the steel toes and get to know new people. And some people, that's too much work. They're not going to advance to that level because they're comfortable in their McDonald's level. So I never went to McDonald's to get an order and was like, wow, this person is super smart. What are they doing here? Like, how are they working here? Like, it's always the same motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, you hear you got to order from a screen. Where do you work? What kind of benefits do you get? I work on TikTok. I'm a TikToker. Y'all are funny. Someone says, are you that desperate that you want a baby with this kid? Why? What's wrong with me? You think that it's wrong for families to stay together? You think it's wrong? You're saying that it's smart for a guy and a girl to have unprotected sex, make a baby, and then decide that, oh yeah, we don't really get along, or wow, you yelled at me one time, or and you're just gonna split that kid up and make it and say, hey, here you go, baby. Mom and dad couldn't get along, so you're gonna live in a split home from now on. And you're gonna have your own stepdad and stepmom, and you're gonna be tossed back and forth between houses because me and dad can't get along. Remember, I get sometimes it's necessary. I sometimes maybe, dude's beating the shit out of you or something like that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? He deserves to go to jail. You know what I mean? You don't deserve to go through nothing like that. But that's not most people. Most people aren't together with whoever they made the kid with simply because they just don't want to be together. Whether it was cheating or not enough attention, or you guys just argued all the time. These are not good reasons to make a kid and then split up with the kid and put it into a split home. Now for the mom, she benefits. She gets a food stamp card with, $600 to $1,000 on it for free food. Now she's got the guy child support anywhere from $50 to $1,000 a month, depending on how much he works. If he's a worker at a factory with overtime, you're gonna get a payday. WIC. Remember, they gave you $1,000 for food stamps, but it's okay because they're gonna give you a WIC card too, because they wouldn't want you to have to buy, juice and fruit with your $1,000 in free food. So they're gonna give you an extra $100 card for that stuff. And they pay for your rent. They will put you in an apartment with all the other fucking bitches that don't have no money, and you will pay $10 a month for rent. They will pay your light bill. There's only one condition that you have to do as a woman in order to receive all of these benefits. No, there's two things you have to do. You got to get rid of the dad. You can't have the dad and get this kind of benefit. You have to get rid of the dad. And you have to maintain a shitty job. You can't go get a nice job because then you won't qualify. You got to go work at the gas station or go work at Walmart or McDonald's. Somewhere where they don't pay enough to where you can receive all this free stuff still. So now you're working at a job like McDonald's. Super easy. No real physical work going on. You don't even really got to take the job serious. And you already know rent's paid, light bill's paid, you got a $1,000 food stamp card, you got a $100 WIC card, $500 just hit your deposit on your child support card. You're living the good life. The only thing that's on these moms' mind right now while they're living in fantasy world is, who's my next fucking target? Yeah, what kind of sucker dude out here will just not care that I got kids with another man and will fund my nail habit and will buy me everything I want, and when I need a little babysitter, he'll step right up to do it. These women are fucking living in fantasy world. They got 2-3 kids with different dudes living like a fucking queen. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I think if you got 3 kids by 3 different dudes, you're not a queen no more. You know what I'm saying? You're not a queen no more, bro. And that's just, I don't know. This dude lives with his stepdad and doesn't pay child support. What the fuck? Yeah, so I live with my mom. Yeah, and like I said, for free rent, I mean, Oregon, you probably live in a shitty apartment, bro, like some dirtball apartment, and you probably pay someone like my mom to live there. So, I mean, who's the real dumbass? Oregon, who's paying $1,500 a month to exist, or Bags, who exist for free? When we go see God, and me and you are standing next to each other, we just somehow happen to show up at the same time. God's gonna be laughing at you, bro. Bro, no way. Tell me again. 1,700 a month, dude. No fucking way. You know that I like built everyone like the same, and you guys were all supposed to live down there for free. And I'm gonna say, yeah, God, I was actually living for free, dude. Wow, you're smart, Bags. Wow, you actually appreciated the gift I gave you more than this fucking loser did. This loser down there working a full-time job, paying rent to fucking live there. What a fucking idiot. Oregon, you do sit online and complain because you're doing that right now, bro. And you can say, you know, I live with my stepdad or my mama. You know, you could say whatever you want, bro. You could say I live in a fucking Somali mosque temple. You know what I mean? But I'm living for free. So, I mean, I could be living in a car right now and still be living for free. Shit, I respect the dude out that black dude that lives in his tent and does TikTok lives and shit in it. I respect him more than I respect a motherfucker paying rent. That motherfucker out there living for free, outside of full-time camping, out in the, feeling that fresh air, living life to the fullest. Dude like Oregon, he's probably sitting in his apartment that he pays $1,700 for, and he's probably miserable, wishing he could go outside. So, you know, it's all about perspective. You guys were all taught that, you know, getting a job, saving your 401k, and renting a house out for while you're here on Earth was the move. And that's the move for some people. For some people, that's all they got. Like, that's the only move they got. But, you know, I'm not going to take that road when there's a higher road for me. I'm not on live every day. This is the first time I went live in like 3 or 4 days. So I'm trying to go live every day. But sometimes I get busy or I got stuff going on. Keep projecting your sad life on everyone. I don't have a sad life, dude. I have a great life. Like, I live bill free for the most part. I have a brand new car, so I can take my kids literally anywhere I want. In style, smooth, like we're riding a spaceship. We don't go places, you know, in a hunky beater car that we don't know if it's going to make it that far. Oh man, 2 hours away, my car might not make that. Now we driving in a spaceship, bro. You know, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? I remember when I used to have to walk everywhere and I couldn't afford a car. So, you know, you say that I'm miserable. I don't think I'm miserable, though, dude. I'm like living my best life right now. I'm supposed to be in a, you know, I could be in a prison cell right now. So, or I could be in a coffin, bro. Those are two realities for me that were, you know, had an 80% probability. So, you know, I'm standing here today on TikTok in my mom's house. If you don't think I'm lucky, one of the luckiest people walking the world right now, then you don't know my story, bro. I'm pretty fucking lucky, and I'm blessed. I say it all the time, man. I could be doing this same live, you know, from my prison cell. You know what I mean? Guys, I get out in 2032, guys. I'll be out in 10 more years, man. Let me know what it's like out there. You know, that could be me right now. Or I could be just dead in a coffin. You know what I mean? Nixie Bliss with the fucking cowboy hat. Appreciate you, Nixie. Yeah, lucky duck. Yeah, I'm lucky for sure. Super lucky, guys. I've always been lucky. Won't last long. He won't put up with your broke ass for long. Oregon, I'm not broke, dude. Why do you think I'm broke? I mean, you see I got a fresh Nike sweatshirt on. Does that tell you broke? Well, what about me says broker and I got a $200 mic on? I got a ring light behind this. You can see I got a ring light set up, like 50, 60 bucks. I mean, how am I broke? Harley, you said it tells us your mom got it for you. So you think my mom bought me all my stuff? Again, let's just for fun, let's just say my mom did buy me all this stuff. And let's just say she gave me $1,000 cash just for the fuck of it. So you're saying because my mom bought me all this stuff and because she gave me $1,000 cash, somehow that's not real money, and somehow I'm not really sitting here with no job. Somehow I'm really not sitting here with a Nike hoodie on because my mom got it for me. So when I see someone in the Bahamas on a really sweet vacation, that doesn't count, dude. Someone might have bought that for you. Yeah, I don't get that. That's not that cool, man. I know it looks nice surfing in the ocean and shit, but it can't be that nice, bro, because I know you didn't actually pay for it from hard-earned money at a slave job. Someone had to have given that for you. Matter of fact, even if you sold something and made profit, I still wouldn't think it was that cool because I think that you have to work really hard for your money, and then you have to save it up, and then you have to spend that hard-earned money on something that you like. That's the only way you can actually enjoy something like that. That must be the way you're thinking. I don't know. Whether my mom bought me this stuff or whether I got it on my own is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? That's irrelevant to it. It doesn't matter how I got it. I could have killed somebody for this shit. It don't really matter how I got it. The fact is you see I got it, right? So, saying I'm broken, poor, and hopeless is, weird. Do I want to see your view? I'm looking at your view right now, bro. I'm looking at your view right now. Myself, I'm looking at it. Are you going to be able to do the same for your children, or is your mom doing that too? Harley, this is the thing about me and you. You live in that old-fashioned mindset, right? Where you're probably thinking like, the next person I get with, I want it to be for life. I want to build together in a house together for the rest of our lives together. You got like a loser mindset. I don't think that far ahead, bro. I mean, to think that I'm going to be alive in 15 years would make me an idiot. Anything could happen. I'm not planning for 15 years from now. I plan a year or two ahead at the most. I'm not planning for 15 years from now. That's like people that buy their house and they pay on it for the rest of their life and then they die and then the house just goes to someone else. Wow, what a legacy, man. You bought a house. What a fucking legacy to leave behind, man. I know 100 other people are probably going to own your house too for their legacy. But somehow, yours is just different. People are going to remember you for your house. They're going to put a picture of you in town square. This dude owned this house. He was such a good big boy. He went to work and he paid for his house. We're going to throw a parade every year for him. This is what you sound like. You said, and then once you pass away, then your kids get your house and can live like you. So you think that's how it works? You think you just save up for a house, you pay it off, and then you die and give it away to your kid? Like, bro, I know you're not thinking like that, man. I know you're not thinking like that, man. There's no way you're thinking like that, dude. Here, let me pass off my slave fucking barracks to my son, man. Let me make sure he's stuck in this spot too. Let's make sure we ground him right into this spot, make him pay taxes, make him mow the lawn, make him fucking do all this shit that I had to do. Let me give this to this motherfucker to do now. Let me pass off this fucking work to him. I don't fucking think so. Motherfucker, my kids can buy their own house. I'm not raising fucking losers. My kids will know how to get their own house. Could you imagine if I was like, don't worry, boys, just get a job at the old factory like Papa, and one day I'm gonna hand you out the keys to my shithole, man. Nah, not happening, bro. They're gonna get their own fucking house. Matter of fact, the fact that I don't have a house is gonna push them even harder to get one. So, I'm gonna give my boys the knowledge, the game. I'm gonna teach them. I'm gonna invest in my boys. I don't need to give them my things. I will help them get their own things. You know what I mean? And then they'll let me live with them. My son Paxton already said I could live with him. When he gets older, he gonna get a couch for me, and I live there rent free. You think I don't got a game? That's funny. You gonna live with your mama forever? No, bro. I already got a game plan, bro. My son already said I could live on his couch. He gonna be rich and successful. I'm gonna be the cool dad just laying over on the couch. Oh, you're a bum? No, you're not gonna work and help him pay his bills? No. I'm just gonna be chilling, probably playing Fortnite. I'll probably clean the house for him and stuff, but just like dad stuff, but I'm not gonna pay the bills. I'd just get my own place if I was gonna do that. So Harley, you said then he's gonna go live with his kid. Harley, but do you take into consideration that I took my kids to Disney World? Are you taking that into consideration? Let me rephrase that. I took my kids to Disney World for 2 full weeks at an immersive resort vacation last summer. So, I tell people this all the time. If I had my own apartment, my own light bill, my own all those other bills that you get when you own your own place, we would have never went to Disney World. We wouldn't be able to afford that. We would be struggling just to keep up on the bills. Would I look like a cool, big, grown-up boy to everybody like Harley? Going to my big job at night? Oh, you got your own place too? Yeah, I live in the apartment. Oh, cool, we're both big boys. Oh, man, you got to pay a light bill this month too? I know, mine's due today too, man. I don't even know how I'm going to pay it, man. Oh, we got to work overtime tonight? 4 hours? Fuck, man, again? Oh, it is what it is. I guess this is life, though. I mean, yeah, I could be doing that, I guess, but instead I was at, Typhoon Lagoon with the boys, fucking Blizzard Beach, the water park. You know what I'm saying? We was living the good life. Oh, Dad, we want bubble machines, man. I hear this other dad over there. Dad, we want bubble machines. They're $35, man. We'll just wait till we'll go Walmart after this. Da 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 da. Because he actually probably has a house at home. Like he's got bills he's thinking about. He's got the light bills probably due, and his wife is probably just using the wallet like an empty pit. So, but me, I know I got no bills. I know I got nothing going on. So I'm like, you know what? Everybody gets a bubble blower. So everybody gets no, there ain't no, well, can I afford it? Or I said, bubble blower, let's go. The vibes are there. So you wouldn't know that because the vibes when you're working are like miserable. Like you're always pissed off trying to save $1. It's just bad vibes. And I bring good vibes to the kids, so. Go to Walmart after this. I thought this was heard on vacation. I don't know what that means. I will be going to Walmart. It's just too cold right now. I'm just giving it a couple days. But I will be going out to Walmart and getting a lot of good content. You said keep celebrating the roses the teenagers send you on this app. Yeah, anyone that wants to send me a rose can send me a rose, bro. You can call them teenagers. You could call them little teeny tiny babies. You could call them whatever you want, bro. Say love with a rose. Popped a rose on him, too. You said I'm a simp. You're teaching your kids to be like dad and live with their mom. I like how everybody always leaves or runs when I bring up the Disney World shit. Because they can't stand that, you know what I mean? And I get why they can't stand it, bro, because it's something that a lot of people can't do. That's why it's such a big monumental moment, because a lot of parents would love to take their kids to Disney World, but it's just not in the cards. It's a hard thing to pull off. It's too expensive. You would have to be in a situation where you don't have a job to be able to leave for 2 full weeks, or at least have really good vacation time wherever you work. So not that, and plus I'm from Michigan. Now people could probably go to Disney World in Florida like it's nothing, but when you're from Michigan, that's not happening. Like if you go to an elementary school right now, and to any elementary school in Michigan, and do a statistics poll on how many people have been to Disney World, I bet you there might be 1 or 2 in each school at the very most. And these are going to be rich kids that have very successful parents. So for me to be able to give my kids that experience, knowing I'm not rich and successful and I do live at home with my mom, is pretty fucking cool, bro. I'm pretty rare. I'm a pretty rare person to be able to pull that off for the kids. My kids, that wasn't in my kids' cards. You know what I'm saying? So for me to make it happen, that's pretty cool, man. Like I said, the kids that usually go to Disney World, they're going to be rich, with rich parents who can take 2-3 weeks off to go down to Florida. Remember, I'm from Michigan. It's 1,300 miles to get to Disney World, or you got to take an airplane. So you can't just drive there, in the morning time and get there. It's a 24-hour trip. Even if you drive straight the entire time, you don't stop at all, you're going to be driving for 24 hours. So, and I did, and I've took my kids to Disney World 3 times. 3 times. The last one just happened to be for 2 full weeks. So, you said it's not 24 hours. It is 24 hours. So, remember, I've did that drive 3 or 4 times. So, technically, I've did it like 7 times. So, I definitely know how long it takes to get there. Harley, you said, do you think those successful parents are jobless as well? No, you obviously don't know how to comprehend things. I said those parents that take their kids to Disney World, those are rich parents who have nice jobs. Why would a rich parent not have a job? That doesn't even make sense. The rich parent obviously has a fucking job, but it's a good job. One where they can take 2 weeks off. Your miserable job where you work at McDonald's or Walmart, they're not giving you that much time off because you don't have a good job. You have a poor person's job. So most of America has a poor person's job. So, and if they live 1,200 miles away, they're not just going to be able to go to Disney World, bro. And if you say that they can, you're full of shit, bro. You couldn't even go to Disney World with your $10,000 tax check that you get. You couldn't even take that $10,000 tax check and go to Disney World. So, yeah, it's pretty much impossible for people to do. Harley, I'm a TikToker. I have a job. I don't know how hard that is for you to understand. I don't know, man. I'm an influencer, bro. I'm an internet influencer. So, you said not a job. Show a pay stub. So if I make $5,000 a day, selling things on Facebook Marketplace. I just go around and buy things for cheap, and then I sell it for more expensive stuff to other people. That's not a job either. Even if I make $5,000 a day, and you make 150 at your slave job, you would still look at me and be like, well, that's not actually work though, bro, because you don't have a slave paycheck. That's how I always know when I got broke people in the room, man, because they always like, oh, prove you not broke, prove you getting money, man. Because they really can't understand it. They really can't. Like, they go to work for $10 an hour, whatever they're doing. They cannot understand that someone could make money on the internet because they've never did it before. They don't even have the option to do it. When I get on the internet, they don't see the same internet I see. They don't have the same TikTok I got. They don't got the same social media accounts I got, bro. I'm a creator. So you don't even see the dashboards I have. Because you just get on TikTok and scroll, so that's what you know it to be, as a scroller app. You're not a creator. You don't know nothing about creation. You don't know nothing about being paid on TikTok. You don't know a fucking thing, bro. The only thing you would know is that maybe a video you watched of someone else maybe explaining their situation. But you don't know firsthand. So you got 20 views, you're not a creator. You say I got big pupils and a big forehead. That's funny. See, that's how I know you guys are, some dumbasses in here, man, because, you don't know nothing about TikTok, bro. Like, one person said, oh, you only got 20 viewers, man. Like, she thinks you get paid by views, I guess. You know what I mean? Maybe she thinks every view I get is like a penny or something, you know what I'm saying? So when she sees people get on here with 200 viewers, she's thinking, oh, man, they make a lot of money on here, man. Because she don't have a clue. You know what I mean? She doesn't know. So it's like weird. You're a bot who sells gushers on TikTok Shop. Bro, I have not made a gusher video in a long time. So you guys just don't think I'm a creator. You just think I just get on here just to get on here? Or what? I don't understand. You guys know I made like $500 last week. People gave me $500 in one day. So, like I said, I think I do a lot better than you guys, give me credit for. So, Harley, it doesn't matter for what. It's not for you to understand, bro. Why would I explain to you what a real motherfucker does? Why would I explain that to you, bro? You're not real. Why the fuck would I tell you that? You know what I'm saying? It's not for you to really know, man. You just, like I said, you see I got the code on. You see I got a brand new Nike code on. $200 mic. You see I got, a better iPhone than you. You don't got this iPhone. You can't afford this iPhone. I guarantee you can't afford this iPhone. 16 Pro Max, 2 TB. Yeah, you can't afford this. You don't know what it's like to play on a 16 Pro Max iPhone. You don't know what that's like. You never gonna know what that's like until they come out with the iPhone 30. Then you might go grab one of these. But you saying I don't got money, I got a better iPhone than you. And as you can tell, I got 2 iPhones because you's on one right now. So crazy work, right? I'm some bum. I'm a loser, man. But I got a better phone than her. She can't even afford this phone. Probably costs more than her car. I bet you this phone costs more than her car, bro. She probably driving around a $2,000 car right now. I bet you my phone is more valuable than her car, bro. Someone would come buy this off me tonight for more than they would your car, bro. You'd have to put your car online for a fucking month and talk to hundreds of different people trying to sell that shitty car. I put this on right now and it'll be sold by the end of the night for more than your car's worth. Point being is you saying I'm broke, but I mean I got a $200 mic on. I got a phone you could never afford on. I got a brand new Nike hoodie on. We all know this Nike hoodie was like $80. So you see I got a full-blown, you can see the throat piece. We all know that costs money. We all know some broke, cheap, poor person that's not a hustler is getting all these tattoos. Only a go-getting motherfucker could have these many tattoos. Yeah, you can't be lazy and have all these tattoos, bro. That would be weird, right? Imagine I just roll up. I'm just super lazy, man. Well, how'd you get over those 1,000 tattoos, man? Oh, it was super easy, man. I just went to bed one day and I woke up with them. Like, most people got comprehension skills, right? So they take one look at all the tattoos. Maybe they see the $200 mic that they can't afford either. Or they see the brand new iPhone, or they see that I never at work. And they just kind of put two and two together. And they're just like, well, he's not proving it to us. He's not showing us cold, hard facts that could be used against him. But wow, maybe he does have some motion, bro. Well, he did say he went to Disney World for 2 weeks. Maybe he does have a little bit of motion going on. Maybe he is smarter than we think he is. That's what a smart person would think. Like if a smart motherfucker walked in the room right now, they're gonna instantly take one look at me and just know that I'm a go-getter. You know what I'm saying? What's up with you, bucko? The red light is scary. You are broke and bothered. No, you're bothered by that. You bothered by that iPhone shit right there. I know that pissed her off because I can guarantee Harley is on food stamps. I guarantee she's broke. This isn't just me being a hater, bro. You're most likely broke just statistically. So I know you cannot afford this phone. You in fact you don't even probably have good enough credit to go get this phone from a third party fucking provider where they only make you pay like $20 a month for it. You probably don't even have the credit to do that. Like, you can't even go get this from Verizon, bro. Like, you can't even go ask them, hey, man, can I get the newest iPhone if I pay? They probably turn you down, bro, because you got no credit. You work at McDonald's. Like, so you probably wouldn't even be able to get one of them, bro. And getting a line of credit for a phone has got to be the easiest line of credit that you could ever possibly imagine. And you probably can't even pull that off. I bet you're on an iPhone 8. No, I bet you're on an iPhone 11, which is tragic. You can't even be a creator with an iPhone 11, bro. You can't even be a creator with the phone you got. Like, that's fucking wild. Instead of hating on me, calling me lazy, or saying I'm a bum that lives at home with his mom, maybe instead you should open up your mind a little bit and start taking some notes and trying to get like me. Don't you want a brand new iPhone? Don't you want to order, $30 worth of DoorDash if you feel like it? Don't you want to do those things? Don't you get sick of waiting for that certain time of the month for your food stamp card to hit, and then you got to go up there and like do that crazy food stamp haul? Like, that's got to get old after a while. You know what I'm saying? You said, what's your credit score? Man, I'm not just going to tell you my credit score, man. Just know that, if you're talking about credit scores, like, you know what you're talking about. I'm a credit master. So, you know, you don't know more than me about credit, bro. And I'm going to let you know right now, your credit score, that's not even important. Nobody gives a fuck about the credit score. That's just what you were taught to believe. Nah, bro, you have kids. You don't live at home with your mom. I believe you're successful. Thank you, Lance. People he does get Cash App. Simp females be giving it. Bro, people aren't simps because they Cash App me, bro. The people Cash App me because they know I'm a good creator. They like me as a person, and they don't believe all the hater bullshit that you guys like to display. You know what I mean? They like my personality. They like my creativeness. When I get on here, I'm a creator, bro. You don't think I'm a creator? But, I mean, you got the normal me right now. Imagine if I pull out the creator me, man, and I start going on crazy. It's going to get different in here, bro. Right now, I'm just chill. Just chilling. Just chill. So, but you should be taking notes. You should be taking notes. You want to know what my credit? I bet you my credit's like a 550 right now. 550, bro. Oh, I got a 700, bro. You don't know what you're doing. Yeah, but you probably got a bunch of debts you're paying on. Like you probably got a bunch of monthly payments you're trying to do right now. Credit cares about how much money you make. That's the most important thing. How much money do you make? You know, you could have an 800 credit score, but if you don't have a job, you ain't getting nothing. You think you can go into a place and say, I got no job or no money, but I got a 900 credit score. I want to get this car today. They're going to laugh at you. Now, you can go into the same car dealership with a 300 credit score. But if you're like, look, I'm making $2,000 a week right now, every single week, and I got pay stubs to prove it, they're going to let you drive off in that motherfucker. So, you know, the credit score, yeah, it's important, but it's only important on how good of a deal you're going to get. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get something. Doesn't mean that you can't get something. You just might not get as good of a deal. Bro, this guy needs banned. TikTok shouldn't allow this tomfoolery. Yeah, I'm glad that you always say TikTok shouldn't allow this, TikTok shouldn't allow that, bro. Like, there's always going to be some fucking cornballs rolling around, you know what I mean? I remember you begged for like 1K for work, then you got fired in one day. No, I didn't beg for 1K for work. My team pushed me up and gave me a bunch of money, and I did get a job for a couple months. But everyone, my real people, know what happened in that situation. They know why I had to leave that job. It wasn't because it was something that I just did because I was lazy. I left because I was being put in a hostile situation with my kid's mom and her boyfriend. So remember, I got that job and they showed up there. You know, they already knew I had a job and I was happy living my own new life I was building. And they showed up to that job to mess with me. So I had no choice but to leave that job. I really liked that job. I really liked that job. I felt good there. It was something I was used to. I liked the people there. You know, they showed me a lot of love at that place. So when I had to leave there, it sucked. But I had to do what I had to do, you know what I mean? So this guy's a victim of everything. So what, you're making fun of victims now, bro? Like I'm choosing to be a victim? That makes no sense. Lance, you said don't explain to these people, man. They're trying to ignite your fire and use it against you later. Oh yeah, for sure. I know they're, you know, poking and trying to document and do all this shit, but I don't give a fuck. You know, at the end of the day, I don't care about that. I know I'm happy. I know I'm doing good. Life is good for me, man. Of course, guys, I could always use the extra help. If you guys want to bless the Cash App, Send me a gift on here. That all goes towards my mission right now, pretty much. But my mission's a little bit different, guys. I personally don't believe I'm going to jail anymore. I did think I was going to do 90 days. I don't believe that no more. I think that's going to get dropped. My assault case will get dropped. I believe that wholeheartedly. So I don't have to plan on going to jail. Lance with the fucking goats. I appreciate that, Lance. I don't have to worry about stacking up my money for that. Of course, it's always still an option. It could still happen, but I just don't believe that's going to happen no more. So that's going to free up a little bit of money for me to kind of move around a little bit easier. Lance with all those gifts. I appreciate you, Lance. Thank you, amazing Nick. Yo, that chick was so mad, bro. I can't help. Yo, that's a good thing, man. When people try to say I'm broke, I just gotta hold up the phone and be like, dude, you couldn't even afford one of these iPhones, bro. Like, you walking around right now with an iPhone 11, and you're trying to tell me I'm broke. I can't even fuck with nobody that's walking around with an iPhone 11, bro. Unless they are like really old and they don't really care about the internet and stuff, then it makes sense. But you know, someone like her, you know, she's probably like 21. She got an iPhone 11. That's miserable, bro. If you're in your 20s, you need a brand new iPhone, bro. If you don't have one, you're miserable. You know what I mean? So you said you begged for it, though? What do you mean I beg for it? Like, I ask people for money? Yeah, I ask for people for money for sure. Like, send it to my Cash App or a gift on here. What would I spend the money on right now? Well, I got that child support I gotta catch up, so I gotta get some kind of payment in for that. There's some new clothes that I want. I've been getting some new clothes. That's been making me feel really good. You know, I walk around with a fresh hoodie on and stuff, fresh shoes. I got the jeans on today. So I've been kind of picking up my wardrobe a little bit, getting some new stuff, making myself fresh. So I could use some money for that. There's some shirts that I want to buy, this and that. I want to get a little bit of a grocery order. Some more chicken nuggets, maybe some cheese, just some little things. Plus, I might be getting my son Friday. So I'm going to want to make sure I got, you know, some food for him here that he likes, some money maybe for DoorDash because he likes to, you know, out to eat too. So those are things that I'll probably use it for right now. So if you guys want to send something, that'd be definitely greatly appreciated for sure. You said, oh, hell nah, you tripping? Why am I tripping? Why am I tripping? You said, how can you speak someone in your 20s when you're in your 40s? That's pretty weird. I'm not in my 40s. I'm 24, bro. And for two, I can say it because I'm alive right now and I have a brand new iPhone. So I think I'm in that category to speak on it. Now, if you got a shitty old Galaxy phone, like I'm sure you probably do, Galaxy 5 or some shit you holding on to, it still works. It still makes phone calls. Who cares if it updates to all the, you know, updates it needs? As long as it makes the phone call like it did in the 60s, then I should be okay. Yeah, I know my internet's trashed and none of the apps are updating, but somehow I just am cool with this. Because I make all my money at a slave factory. So I don't need a new phone. Bags, he's a creator. He needs the best phone, the brand new 2 TB. He didn't need all them TBs. He didn't need to pay the extra $500-$600 for that extra TB. He would have been okay with 1 TB. But he got the 2 TB. I know a lot of motherfuckers ain't getting the 2 TB, bro. So that's another thing. You look at my phone and you probably think this is like what? $1,000 phone? This motherfucker was $2,500. $2,500 for this phone. So Yeah, I don't think, my phone probably costs more than your car. That's fucking insane, bro. Thank you, Lance. I appreciate you, Lance. You said you can't take him to jail with you. I can't take what to jail with me? The phone? Yes, I can, bro. This phone will come to me if I go, or come with me if I go to jail, bro. I might not be able to hold it in my hand, but it's gonna be in the jailhouse. It'll be up in inventory. Still in my possession, like a post office box. So, and I get it as soon as I get out. It'll come right back into my hand. So, I know your family hates you. Why do you think my family hates me? Why do you think anyone would hate me, bro? If you see I'm a good father, who would hate me? Let me ask you something. Do you think God hates me? Ask yourself that. Do you think God hates me? Do you think God doesn't like what I'm doing? Do you think God's up there and he's like, you know what, I'm not okay with the way you're living. I'm not okay with any of this. Do you really think God thinks that? I'm just asking because, you think that and like a couple other dudes think that, but do you think God actually thinks that? Because I keep forgetting that I gotta impress you guys over God. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when judgment comes, I know I'm gonna be sitting in front of a couple of these dudes. I won't be in front of God. I'll just be in front of one of these guys who says I should get a job. And that'll be who's judging me. So let me ask you, do you think God doesn't like me? Now remember, I'm a good father. God is a father. And I'm a good father. Remember, God does nothing for a bad father. He only brings pain to the bad father. He never blesses the bad father. When you don't take care of your own seed, you don't get blessed. So do you think God doesn't like me? Knowing I'm a great father? Knowing that I've done everything I can to be a great father to my seeds that I brought here to this earth? I think he likes me, man. I think he likes me more than you. I think if God had to pick and choose, we gave him an ultimatum right now, me or him, he picking me, bro. He picking me, trust me. He gonna pick me. We're gonna banish you straight to the pits of hell. So, he's gonna let me push the button. You wanna push the button on this dude bad? Fuck yeah, I do, man. Fuck this dude. So, you would get a job and not ask others to pay for your family. So you're saying I should get a job for some rich billionaire dude, work for him as a slave, so I can bring that money back and pay for my own Mountain Dew. That's how you got it written in the book as a good person. You think I'm a bad person because I live with my mom for free? You see where that's kind of dumb, right? Like imagine being out here and Brittany, you say, or start your own business. Brittany, or binary, I make more money than you do. You cannot give me advice on what I should be doing, bro. I make more money than you. Remember that. You pay rent and I don't. Remember that. These are important things that you cannot just look past because you want to look past them. If I make more money than you, you cannot give me advice on what I should be doing to get money. That's weird. That's like you have a little lemonade stand outside your house and, I'm running a franchise at McDonald's. And you're like, hey, I just kind of noticed that, if you guys had, this going on, you could be making way more money and this and that. And I'm like, don't you run the little 25 cents a cup lemonade stand across the street? And I'm running $1 million franchise? But, you want me to take the time to listen to your advice? because you got some master advice that I couldn't think of as a franchise owner. Somehow I'm a dumbass. I own a franchise and I'm running $1 million business, but I'm a dumbass. And you're running a fucking lemonade cup stand and you know how to run it. See where it'd get kind of weird? I mean, at that point, I would probably kick your little lemonade stand over and be like, well, let me give you some advice. You need to start strapping this thing down because shit like this could happen. Then you ain't got no lemonade to sell. Whose advice is better, hers or mine? Remember, I'm solving a real life problem for her. I'm kicking that motherfucker over, and then I'm giving her real life advice on how to prevent it from happening again. She's just trying to tell me how I can sell more lemonade. I already fucking know how to sell more lemonade. I already ran the fucking numbers. Apparently, she never thought about someone kicking her lemonade stand over. But it just happened today, bro. And now I gotta be the teacher. You're not paying me to teach you this. You're not sending me a thank you card. You're just gonna hate on me for kicking your lemonade stand over. You're gonna call me a bad person. You're not gonna send me a $50 check and say, wow, man, thanks for the lesson. Thanks for teaching me that hard lesson that, no one ever else has taught me. I was over here running this punk-ass lemonade stand thinking I was some franchise owner or something, thinking, oh, I could do that. It's easy. Oh, I could run my own McDonald's if I fucking wanted to. And then someone kicked your lemonade stand over and you snapped back into fucking reality and remembered that you were a fucking loser. So, I don't want to be the guy to do that to you. I just want to run my lemonade franchise business over here, man. I seen you was over there smug and mean mugging me. I don't care. I let you do it. You know what I mean? Because you got your cute little lemonade stand. You making some money, whatever. But once you wanted to give me advice, you pulled me across the street from my business to give me your advice. I'm already over here now. God, I had to kick that motherfucker over. So, I can't ever understand why females will give their money for this. So again, you're trying to understand what a female that is above you is doing. Remember, these females have money and they can actually support people. You don't have money to even give if you wanted to. I could be talking about saving the children and you still wouldn't throw a rose on it because you're a bum. So how are you going to tell what other women should be doing when you're not even on their level, bro? You're not even on their level, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, you trying to give advice. Oh, man, I don't know how you spend money on that, man. Like, because you're not on their level, bro. Not everyone is stressed out about throwing $5, dude. Some people got their life in their hand, bro. Not everyone's a loser like you. You got to remember that. There's a lot of winners out here. And the way I talk is winner talk. I don't do the loser talk. So the winners are going to come around and probably bless me. And I'm not going to be worried about the losers. Or maybe this loser will come in and think I got a good heart, man. And maybe she'll give me a rose, man. Nah, I don't work like that, man. You got money for 2 iPhones, but no money for child support. Make that make sense. Who said I don't have money for child support, bro? I'm 2 months behind. That's not that far. You said the accent's put on. Yeah, the accent come on when I start to get a little wild up, man. It was funny because when I was talking to my criminal lawyer, at the end of my story, I started talking like this, and we both looked up at each other like this. And then I went straight back to my regular voice because I was like, oh, shit, she going to think I'm a fucking psycho. Because I did the voice on here for so long with the accent like this that sometimes it starts to pop out when I'm just talking regular. So I'd rather be poor and work my hands to the bone and provide for my own family. Spoken like a true fucking slave right there, man. I'd rather be poor and work my hands to the fucking bone and provide for my own family. That's some slave fucking mentality shit right there, bro. At the end of the day, she's saying she'd rather be poor. So she's confirming what we all already knew. She's fucking poor. Trying to give me life advice. Remember, I don't care that she's poor. I'm not like a dirtball. But when you're going to step up and give me advice and try to big dog me when you broke, that is weird, bro. That's goofy advice. Look, she said, I can't understand why a woman would give this guy money, but I'm going to work my hands to the bone and be poor. Practically in the same breath, she said that. So this is a woman who wants to work her hands to the bone and be poor. And she doesn't understand why another woman would give me money. That's just out of her mindset. She just can't comprehend it. She's baffled by it. It's super funny. Your mom is out slaving for you. Yeah, my mom is at a slave job right now. That is very true. She does slave work. She's not doing it for me though. Believe me, if I died tonight, let's say I just die in my sleep, bro. You think my mom's just gonna say, "Oh man, he died. I can stop working now and we can just give up this house and I can give up my car and I can just stop eating and I won't have to work no more now that he's gone." Oh no, actually, no, my bad. The mortgage she pays, they'll come tell her, "Oh yeah, that guy that was living with you died. We'll cut your mortgage in half now. Yeah, you only got to pay half now." Yeah, my mom's a slave. My dad retired as a slave. My dad did the full tour as a slave, bro. From when he was a child to when he had to retire because he was too old. He did the full slave tour. He chops his own fucking wood to heat his house. Do you know how hard it is to chop your own wood to heat your house? You probably don't. You probably never did that kind of work. So, I come from the slaves. I was born from the slave. A slave is who made me. And that's what I was taught growing up my whole life was work hard, work harder, work extra hard, man. You're not working hard enough. We're trying to build some character out here. So, at the end of the day, nobody's making fun of people that go to work. But we are going to call it for what it is. It's slave shit. I'm an advocate for that. I'm a big advocate for that. I might even put that in my profile. Advocate for slavery, man. We're trying to abolish it. We don't want it no more. The white person's the new slave. Yeah, I'm the slave now, bro. The black people aren't the slave no more. We are. So, for me, I advocate for that all the time. Slave work, you're not going to catch me doing it unless they hold your boy down and put him in chains and start whipping me. That's the only way you're going to see me up in the plantation talking about, I like it here, man. Oh, man, it's kind of cool working for our own money. You're never going to hear me in there saying that, bro. Ever. So you don't want to work. No, they don't understand that I already work. I am a TikToker. I work. I have job. They don't understand because they don't get it. So that's their fault. That's their issue, not mine. I mean, I say it blatantly all the time. I'm a TikToker and I probably make more money than you do. I say that 24/7 on this motherfucker. And they still will say, get a real job. Get a real job. We're not going to listen to what you're saying. We're just going to keep shouting, get a real job. We heard you say you made more money than us. We're not hearing it. That's one ear out the other, baby. We not hearing that. Get a job. I make more money than you. Get a job. Yeah, but I'm happy and I make money and I don't. Get a job. They're like zombies, bro. They just keep repeating the same exact things over and over and over and over again. And it's like, dude, I make more money than you and you pay rent. You're just going to have to eat that fucking loss. You're going to have to suck it up, bro. It sucks. I know it does. Big Bag gets to be the winner. But it sucks to be you, bro. You got to eat that loss. At the end of the day, if I make more money than you, you have to eat that loss. You cannot keep recommending I get a job because you sound like a fucking idiot. So, get your child support paid at least. I always pay my child support. I pay it every single month. The record shows that I pay it every single month. I fell behind a couple months because shit happens, bro. Only a dumbass idiot would try to act like shit can't happen where you can't make the payment. Only an idiot would think that. Only a real dumbass would say that, you know, everybody's perfect and you're supposed to pay perfectly on time every single month and you're never supposed to miss even a second. Yeah, even if you're hour behind, bro, you like people are acting like that and it's kind of weird. At the end of the day, when I don't pay for 1 month, that money they don't give me food stamps to pay for it, or, oh man, we're going to tax all the taxpayers to pay you back your child support. No, that debt stays with me. I hold on to that debt. Even though I didn't pay it right away, I own that debt. It belongs to me, and if I don't pay it, I'll go to prison. So eventually I would go to prison. So acting like I don't pay it or like I can't fall behind a little bit, that's my debt and my responsibility. If I want to fall behind a couple months because I can't pay it, then that's on me. You know what I'm saying? And I could just like that pay it off as well. I'm only obligated to pay once a month, but if I'm behind 3 months and I pay it off in one lump sum, that's on me. That's my debt, and I handled it. So right now I'm behind about $1,100. That's 2 months for me. Technically, I'm not even $1,100 behind yet because you got to wait till the very end of the month for it to count as not paid. I owe it at the first of the month, but I got 30 days to pay it. I don't got to pay it right when it hits my thing. Now, if I don't pay within the month and it goes into February, then it becomes owed. Like you owe that now. Like you didn't pay it and you owe it now. So technically I'm 1 month behind. So technically I could pay it off this week and I wouldn't be behind anymore. So if you guys want to help and throw to it on the Cash App or whatever, it'll go a long way for sure. Okay, so someone says I definitely get food stamps. This is how I know they probably get food stamps themselves or something, bro. Listen, when you get food stamps, you gotta be broke or working under the table. Do you think working on TikTok is considered working under the table? Do you think all the money I make on TikTok is a secret that nobody knows about and I just don't tell nobody and I keep it a complete secret and it's just this big mystery? Is that what you're picturing? I'm really asking. I gotta know. Like, do you think that everything's just a big secret over here and just nobody really knows how much I make and I get to lie about it and this and that? Okay, well, let me educate you guys a little bit. I'm a TikToker. I make money on TikTok. This means I'm self-employed, which means I don't do the taxes that you guys do. I do self-employed 1099K taxes. Do you think TikTok sends me imaginary data over when I file my taxes? Do you think they say, "Oh, Bags, let's just say you made $10, bro"? You think TikTok does that? Or do you think they have my W-2s and everything documented and ready to go for me to file? I'm just asking. Do you guys believe that TikTok just doesn't give you those papers to file with all your money on it and what you made through royalties, commissions? You think TikTok it doesn't do that? You think it's just we just are over here just randomly, secretly making all it? Nobody's counting for nothing, bro. We don't got to pay taxes on this. We don't got to do nothing, bro. They're not even keeping track of us. That's what I mean. I guess I expect a dumbass to think that. Someone that's never did it before, maybe they do have that kind of opinion going on. But I file taxes, and they are sent straight from TikTok, so I don't get to cherry pick what I made. They already have it documented every month what I've been paid. They have it documented, ready to go in a 1099K. So, you know, you saying I get food stamps? Impossible for me to get food stamps. So you can only get food stamps when you work regular jobs and you quit that job or something, or you're working under the table as like a roofer or like a cook or something. You might be able to get food stamps that way as a dad. Remember, as a dad. As a mom, it's probably way more lenient. As a mom, you probably get food stamps, whatever. But you got the kids all the time, so you're gonna get food stamps. I get my kids on the weekends and shit, so they would probably consider that maybe. But I make way too much money to be on food stamp. Someone said I made $3 on here today, which is actually super surprising because I didn't think that I even made $3, to be honest. I must have been missing most of the gifts. I thought maybe 50 cents, but $3, that's not bad. You got to remember, it's not just about the money. Like, I'm not on TikTok on live just to get people's money. I'm on here to get new followers. I'm on here to get more engagement. I'm on here to make my profile more popular. More people see my videos. You never know who you're going to meet on here. I could be on live right now and maybe another famous TikToker scrolls on me and likes what he sees, and all of a sudden we're collabing together. So there's a lot that goes on with these lives. It's not just about getting gifts. And my people gift me very well. They don't got to gift me every second I'm on here. They don't have to gift me on every live. They take care of me, so there's no complaints. You know what I mean? I might hop on tomorrow for an hour and get the shit gifted out of me. You know what I mean? So, and then I might go on here for 3 hours today with no gifts. At the end of the day, I'm on here not just for money. Like I said, I'm on here to build followers, build connections, get more people looking at my videos. So there's a lot that goes into it. I'm not just up here working for free just because people don't gift me. The one thing you have to do as a beginner creator is build your platform. You can't even make money if you don't build your platform first. So you always want to build on your platform. Even if you're not making money, you should be building on your platform. So that's all good, but don't brag about how much you make. I don't brag about how much money I make, dude. I literally have baby mamas in family court. So I don't brag about how much money I make. Matter of fact, I've never even told people how much money I make. I could make $1 or I could make $1 million. Nobody actually really knows. Now, do I talk shit when a motherfucker wants to grease me up about me getting a different job because they don't respect that I'm a TikToker? Then yeah, I'm going to say I make more money than you do. Because you obviously need some kind of blatant, disrespectful response for you to make it make sense to you. I mean, when you continually telling me to quit TikTok and go get a real job, or you're telling me, oh, move out of your mom's because you're a loser, I'm going to hit you with the disrespect, man. Because at the end of the day, even though I'm being disrespectful, it's 100% correct. Like, if I do make more money than you, that sucks. But that's the truth. So you shouldn't be piping in to give me money advice. You could give me all kinds of advice. You could give me advice on how to be, better father. You could give me advice on how to be a better person. Because we can't really compare that. You could be a better person than me. I don't really know that. So I would take some advice like that. But trying to tell me I need to quit TikTok and go get a real job when I know I make more money than you do, I mean, you're setting me up for failure. It's like you're telling me to just walk through that door. You know it's a cliff that I'm going to fall off, and you just go through that door, dude. No, get out of this room, bro. I know you're really happy in here. It's super safe, and you're not falling off a cliff. I want you to go through that door. And I'm like, nah, dude, because I already know what that door's a cliff, man. I'm living life in here right now. Look at all the stuff I got. Yeah, but you need to go through that door, dude. Just trust me and go through it. And then I have to cut into you and say, dude, I'm not a fucking idiot like you. Like, yeah, I know you walk through that door and fall off the cliff every other day, but I'm not a dumbass like you are, bro. I'm going to sit in this room and enjoy myself. And then I could see you getting all offended. You think you're better than me, man? You think I'm dumb, or you think you're bragging right now? No, dude, you're just being weird trying to get me to walk through a fucking door with a cliff on it, bro. Like, show us some content, or is this the content you're creating? I got 27 people in here, bro. You telling me this ain't content? You think it's easy to pull 27 people into the room with you? Another unexperienced person who has no clue on how TikTok works. They think 26 people, 27 people, they think that's easy. Anyone could pull 27 people, and it's only 27 people, bro. But I know if they start their own live, they're not even going to pull one person. Not even one person is going to sit in their live for longer than like 3 seconds. So it's, like I said, it's always easy to, just like LeBron James. Oh man, I could do that, or oh, he's not the GOAT, or oh, no, 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 no. But they never did it. They had no idea what it like. Matter of fact, 1 minute in LeBron's shoes, and they would be crying like little babies. Oh, I didn't know LeBron had to work for 12 hours a day on basketball. Oh, I didn't know he was in the gym 5 times a day. Oh, I didn't know he had to eat a special diet. Oh, I didn't know his big toes were fucking broken in like little boxes from running so much. I didn't know all that. All I knew was when I click on the TV and see a highlight, man. I just think it's easy while I'm sitting on my couch with my pot belly. I thought it was easy to do it. I didn't know that to be LeBron James, you got to actually put in a lot of work. I thought LeBron James was just born like that. I thought he was just born like that, man. I didn't know he had to actually, be in the gym every day of his life. I didn't know he was running condition runs every day of his life. I didn't know this dude was in there working all day long, every day in the gym. I thought he was just born that way. Thought God just gifted him all that, man. I thought he just had an easy life. I didn't know he had a super hard, tough life to get to where he's at. But it kind of makes sense because, if it was that easy, everyone would be LeBron James. Everyone would put up 40 points a night. Everyone would be on the Lakers right now. But it's actually hard. Something that 99% of people can't do because it's so hard. In fact, they won't be LeBron James. They'll instead go be an electrician. Or they'll go work the fry machine at the McDonald's because those are easy things to pull off. Becoming LeBron James is hard. You know how much work you would have to put in to be LeBron James? How much work he had to put in to be LeBron James? You probably wouldn't even want to be LeBron James. You'd say, that's a lot of work, dude. Just I'll work at Burger King. Yeah, you're just going to ask me to put fries in the bag? That sounds super easy. That's not going to fuck with my anxiety. I could be the best fry putter in the bag that there is. I know that's a task that I can pull off every day. And people might even praise me for it. I don't got to worry about failing. I don't got to worry about putting in the hard work. I just got to put the fries in the bag, man. You know, now I can eat cheeseburgers every day. I can smoke. I can do whatever the fuck I want because all I got to do is put fries in a bag. You think LeBron James can do that? You think LeBron James just wakes up on a Monday and says, man, I'm just going to pig out today and just eat whatever I want and I'm going to smoke and I'm going to drink? He can't do that. So, again, people love to judge from the outside looking in. They like to think they know, you know, what someone's got going on. But they don't. This dude said LeBron is a billionaire with God-given talent he was born with. See, there you guys go, man. That guy just proved it for me. He thinks LeBron James was given his basketball talent by God. This motherfucker thinks God just was like, oh yeah, this is LeBron. Let's give him special basketball skills, man. You know, you really think that's how it works? You don't think LeBron James ever practiced basketball as a kid? You don't think he ever like went to a bunch of practices and was playing a bunch of games? And you don't think that ever happened? You think he just walked in at 19 and was like, "Oh, let me get that bat. What is that, a basketball?" And just start swishing all. Oh, dude, I didn't even know I had this God-given talent, dude. What the fuck? That's not how it works, bro. LeBron could have been the greatest football player ever, too. It's not because they gave him special God-given talent. It's because LeBron is a fucking animal. And he can put up with that work relentlessly over and over and over and over again nonstop. That's why he's the GOAT, bro. He could have been the best football player in the world. He could have been the best basketball player. He could have been the best anything he would have put his mind to because of his ethic, his work ethic, bro. He pushes through that hard work. That's why he's at the top. No other player is pushing through that hard work. How many people do you know that are in their 23rd year of the NBA? What basketball player do you know of that has played a 23rd year in the NBA straight? Name one person in the world that plays in the NBA for 23 years straight. If anyone can name it, I mean, this guy says it's called talent. No, it's not talent, bro. That's hard work. That was built into talent. That wasn't God-given talent. This was LeBron James working day and night, more than you could ever imagine, harder than you've ever worked at your 9 to 5. That's why he's the king of the NBA. You could never do that. You could never pull that off because it's not in you. You're not willing to put in the work for it. You're willing to put in the easy work, like I said, be an electrician or get a factory job. Like you took the easy way out. LeBron James took the hard way. So and you took the criminal way. Like, what do you mean? Like, when I was a kid, I took the criminal way? Yeah, I mean, you can't really penalize me for stuff I did as a kid, bro. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. So why can't you slam dunk a basketball no matter how hard you try? Why can't I slam dunk a basketball? Because I'm not tall enough and can't jump that high? That doesn't mean that I can't be the greatest basketball player ever. You don't have to be a dunker to be the greatest basketball player ever. You know that, right? You probably don't know that, I guess. A good example would be Dirk from the Mavericks, bro. When he won his ring, I don't think he dunked one time in those finals. Not one dunk. And he went through everybody you could imagine to get his ring. Not one dunk. So, trying to say the dunking thing, that's a physical thing. You know what I mean? Not to mention, most people probably can dunk. Like, if I really tried to dunk and I practiced and worked hard on it every day I was in the gym trying to jump higher and higher and higher, I probably would be able to dunk. Just, you don't think you can, you never try, you never work on it. People that work on it are going to be able to jump higher. Just like skateboarding. When I was a kid and I skateboarded, you couldn't even lift the board off the floor. It was so high or so hard. But then after you worked and practiced and did other things, stretching your legs, this and that, all of a sudden you can jump up on the board over 5 skateboards. You couldn't do that at first. You couldn't even do that off a skateboard. But once you practice and you're practicing and you're practicing and you're learning and you're strengthening your body for it, now you can do it. Same thing with basketball. You think the guys in the NBA aren't on a workout regimen? You think they're not stacked up with hard muscles throughout their whole body? You think they're running around like a dad is? Flabby ass arms and shit and no fucking muscles to them, and they're not on a fucking high powered diet or nothing. They're just cramming french fries in their face. Like, you gotta be an idiot. These guys have trainers who are giving them special diets. They have to work out a certain amount of time. They have to be in the gym a certain amount of time playing every single day to be a professional athlete. So, like I said, a lot of people think it's easy. They see things and they're just like, oh, I could do it. But they don't. They never count the work that goes into it. Guys, I'm gonna jump off here for a minute. Guys, I only got $1 on the Cash App right now. Only $1. So if you guys want to donate to the Cash App, man, Big Bag Benny, gonna go a long way for sure, man. I'm definitely grateful for it. I'm also gonna, any gifts you guys send on here is gonna go towards it too. I'm gonna go make some coffee and take a little break from here, and then I'm gonna jump back on probably here in a little bit. See, they're still telling me to get a job. Guys, if you Cash App me, I won't have to get a job. If you send me a little Cash App or send me a little gift on here, I won't have to technically go get a job. So you'll be saving me from that experience. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, I'll be back in a little bit.